Welcome back, Jonna.
Thank you.
That was a great set of music you did. It really was.
I appreciate
Lots
it.
of fun, reminiscent of so many people. I mean, I'm closing my eyes in there and hearing everybody from Emmylou Harris to Joan Baez, and so were you raised on folk at all?
Well, yeah.
I mean, because
Yeah.
I mean, I'm hearing a lot of influences. Tell me about those influences.
For me, a lot of it starts with the songwriters like that, and people like Brandi Carlile and Ingrid Michaelson and Emmylou, obviously. Females, at least, like that. They have a big impact on my sound and my writing and stuff like that. But then also, that one, Roger Miller, he's a huge part of why I can write.
You're the second person we've done a show with in a row that's mentioned him.
Yep.
I'm marrying him whenever I die. So, that's the plan. And you think I'm joking, but that's
Wedding
the
in heaven.
That's the truth. Yeah, just all of it. My dad, he listens to everything, and he always has since as far back as I can remember. So,
And of course, your dad's been an active musician and player and singer and writer for a long time too. So I'm sure that's had a lot of influence on you. Are you you're one of the last one of 5, correct?
yes, ma'am.
So are you the only one that's doing this, or are your siblings musical and writing and all that as well?
We're all musical. I'm just the only one that got the curse enough to not put it back down. Sometimes I literally wish I could, but I just don't know that I could survive that. So
Yeah, well, it's part of you, and that's great.
Yeah.
Where were you born and raised?
this is a secret, but I was born in Leesburg, Florida.
Okay.
We won't hold that against you.
Yeah, don't.
Not a thing.
But they moved me up to the mountains. I was barely 2 years old, so I spent about 18, 19 almost years up there. And then actually, no, that's a lie, 17. I moved here when I was 19.
In Colorado. Mm-hmm. So you went from Florida to Colorado. That's
Yeah, but I don't remember any of that.
Right.
Colorado is my home, for sure.
in what town in Colorado?
Do y'all know, like, the Vail Valley?
Yes.
So there's a little town called Gypsum right before you hit the Glenwood Canyon. It's in Vail Valley, but I have to always kind of explain that because when you say that to people, they're like, "Oh, you're fancy," but really, no. We were working for the people in Vail. we were not like friends with them or anything. But yeah, it was.
Like you don't live in Aspen and work in Aspen.
Oh no, you just go to the X Games in Aspen and then you leave.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
where in Texas did you land when you came here?
Well, in Lorena, that's where my dad. He just sold his house out there, but he had a house there for a long time, and so that's where we landed when we first got here. The plan was to come to Lorena and then move to Austin. That was, the ultimate goal.
Right.
My sister and I, but that didn't happen. Plus, my dad and I started playing music together, and so that just it went way too well to not keep doing it. So
Right.
yeah.
Well, that's wonderful. So
Yeah.
you said that you were writing songs when you were a little girl.
Yes, ma'am. I don't know how old I was the first time I wrote a song.
Uh-huh.
I remember writing it. It was on a keyboard about that big in the back seat of my mom's car in Florida.
Wow.
On vacation to Florida once. I didn't know what to do with myself, so I started just pilling around, and then I kind of figured out how the chords can go together, and lyrics, I don't know, they've always been my thing.
That's
so.
been your gift. That's your gift. So you're doing music full-time as a career?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I play for a living, but I also teach. So, right now I'm teaching at a guitar center, but
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking about maybe moving that and doing my own thing again. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just kind of waiting for things to fall into
Hey,
place.
the
But
sky's the limit. Yeah.
You teaching Mando? Or?
I teach mandolin, guitar, ukulele, vocal lessons. I've got one drum student
Now, which guitar center?
in Waco.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because Mark Gorman friend of ours that teaches. He's a songwriter from Maypearl. He teaches at Guitar Center.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I think in Cedar Hill.
Yeah. It's a cool job. They do a lot of the groundwork for you. You just show up and teach, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's nice.
It is. So you mentioned that you've got a 4-year-old son. Is he showing interest in music?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He at first he was and I imagine this is normal for normal kids. Because at first he was a little, he would get jealous sometimes of the music and the amount of time that I would hold my instruments in my hands and things like that. But now he's been around it enough, and I think he understands it enough.
Yeah.
He's been on the road with us a lot, and he knows how the shows work, and he knows how the songwriting works, and so he'll sit in the back seat and make up a song for, from Waco to Dallas the whole way.
That's adorable.
But yeah, he's pretty talented, I think.
Yeah. So do you mainly just play around Texas, or have you thought about touring and going outside of the state?
Yeah, here and there we'll leave, but we mainly stay in Texas. Mm-hmm. With the single coming out, though, Come Get Your Baby, I'm sure there will be a bit of a radio tour involved with the promotion of that. Mm-hmm. And we've got ties. I mean, we've got ties all over Texas, obviously, but we've got a few outside of Texas, too. And
What about back in Colorado?
that's what I was going to say. That's they've got the songs that I recorded with David when I was 13 playing on the radio there.
Oh, wow.
We've got friends there, too, David Starr and other people that could, that do, like he's the one that does the booking for the Cedar Edge Festival.
Cool, yeah.
That they do, and we'll put y'all in touch with them, too.
That would be great. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, y'all need to be up there.
We're about to have a lot more to offer press packet-wise, because right now it's just go to YouTube and search my name. Don't Google it, whatever you do, but just do it on, like, Facebook or something.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to have 11 more, counting the interview, 12 more videos up there for us.
See, that's great. That's perfect.
Ones made songs, so we're looking forward to I'll get them done, hopefully, this week.
That's awesome. That's quick, too. We work, every now and then we'll do stuff like this, and here and there it'll be couple months before we see it.
And I'll have to admit, it's been that with me a few times. It depends how far behind.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm not behind.
We came at the right time.
That's right.
Cool.
So, out of all the places you've played so far, which has been your favorite and why?
I knew you were going to ask me that. Oh, gosh. Favorite place to play ever. And why? Okay, I'll tell you what probably one of my favorite gigs ever was. Mm-hmm. It was at Cheatham Street Warehouse. It was with Kenzie Coppin and the Rankin twins. I don't know if y'all know them. They're both in Nashville now, but this is when we were all in Texas still. And why? I mean, I guess the whole way there, my dad was telling me just kind of about the history of it and what it meant and who's been through the doors. And I don't know if I'm making it up, but I can feel stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, that was just, that just felt good from the first song to the last song. I mean, everybody played well together. We had never played together before, and, I don't know, it was a great show. I'll never forget that show. So.
Yeah. Have you played Red Rocks yet?
No, not myself. I've been there a lot of times.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
That would be awesome, yeah.
Where would be a place you'd really like to play career-wise?
I mean...
What, if you...
Any and everywhere, to be honest with you. I don't really discriminate when it comes to stages. But, my dad's played the Opry I don't know how many times. I've only even laid eyes on it once. Like, I don't know, but...
Your time's coming.
That's a weird question. I don't know how to answer that.
Where do I want to play? What's the worst gig you've ever had?
Gosh, how do I even answer that too?
Or have they just all been perfect?
They stay perfect all the time.
There's always one in the crowd.
There's bad ones. There's bad ones. I mean, most of the time it seems like the bad ones happen, because my dad and I, we can play to a brick wall. I tell people this all the time. We can play to 1,000 people, or we can play to literally nobody. We're going to play the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Both times.
Right.
One can be a paid rehearsal if it's got to be. Like, that's fine with us. But
you have to feed off an audience being there.
Oh, I do, yes.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way you can be on stage and not do that.
I am a showboat for sure. Like, I like talking and getting people involved. But I would say probably the worst gigs I've ever played only were bad because of other musicians.
It wasn't you at all.
Like, and I don't even mean like the quality of the music. I just mean like the teamwork on stage and things like that. Sometimes there's just no way to get everybody on the same page, and you either have to just stop caring until the show's over, or you have to try and fix it the whole time, and that's never fun. So
Just play through it.
yeah, I just try to play. I just ignore it. I just go like this, and I'm like, it's almost over. So,
Blinders.
basically, yeah.
Yeah. When you're when you were a little girl, and what's the first song you ever remember just really getting into as a kid? On the radio, whether it be on the radio or something maybe
What? I
mom or
mean,
dad played for you.
I could tell you the first song I ever played, and that's probably the first one I ever really bonded with. It was What a Day for a Daydream by John
Love and
Sebastian.
Spoonful.
Yep.
I did it on ukulele in first grade in a talent show, and I won the talent show. Which, it was heavy competition back then. Also, I lived in Gypsum, so there was like 3 of us competing. But,
Hey, a
but I
win's a
won.
win. A win's a win. There's
That
3
was-
horses in the Kentucky Derby. They're still
Right,
winning,
yeah.
right?
That's
Okay,
right.
there you go.
But that was probably the first song where because you know, that bling, 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 bling. I don't have my ukulele, but the chords and the rhythm, it was something I had never done before, so I learned a lot from that song, I guess.
Neat.
But
Well, I want to, we still have some of our studio audience here, and I want to open it up for them if they have any questions they may want to ask you.
sure.
Anybody?
Anybody got anything? Then I'm going to request something from Bill Sibley here because Bill's joined us for the show, and he's an In the Music Room veteran many times, both on stage and out here. What attracted you to this young lady enough to call me many times and say,
You got to get her in
you got to
here.
get her in here?
Well,
And then I want you to respond to that.
they were holding a songwriter night up in Waco, and I like to go to the songwriter nights because I like to hear songs that people original music.
Yeah.
I just like that. I mean, because there's no telling what you're gonna get. Good ones are, it's good or bad. Songs are subjective, so
That's right.
And I went up there, and they were just really nice people, and down courteous and down home, and you felt comfortable. And then I would get up when I would play my song. Dana or Jonna Mae would play with me, or and it's just that's where we kind of started doing our thing, and then I got a show at the Texas Music Cafe in Waco, and I asked Dana if they could, and he said well, would it be all right? Do you think Jonna Mae could back up singing? It's like, yes. Are you kidding? If she'll do it, gosh, And we did that show, and it really turned out good. And she was, when it was over with, she was doing the backup vocals on Janice, and it's amazing. And when we was done, I told her, I said, "Girl, you're a rock star."
So what are your thoughts on what he just said?
I would say it's mostly accurate. Yeah, I remember when Bill walked in the backyard saloon, which is not the backyard saloon anymore. But when it was, that's where we were doing the songwriter night, and he walked right in, and my dad and I were sitting there, you know, setting stuff up, and he just stood there. He talked to us the whole time we were setting up, and I don't know, the friendship was pretty quick, I would say, and we've played, I don't know, a handful of shows since then together, and he's always been great to me, and he's always tried to help me, and I try and do what I can for him on stage too, anytime he needs me to. So
That's great.
yeah, part of the family for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and y'all are a part of our family now too.
Well, hey,
so-
I like it. I can feel that too.
Good. Where do you see yourself? A couple of years down the line, where would you like to be, both musically and personally?
Weird that you even ask about personally. Most people only care about what I'm doing with my music. I don't even know how to answer that.
Whatever you're doing personally is going to reflect in your music.
Yeah, true. I'm learning that right now. My plan, this has always been my plan, and I don't know how realistic it is, but it's not going to change. And that is to make sure I've got the product that I need and make sure that I've got the shows that I need. I'd like to be on the road. I'd like to be traveling and playing bigger shows and, bigger festivals and things. You know, we'd love to go to Steamboat. We'd love to go do stuff like that. So in the next couple years, that's my goal, because we've been sitting on these songs for almost a decade, and that's the last thing we need is just a product. So
And you've got an album coming out pretty soon, don't you?
yeah, hopefully before. I think our single will be done in the next 2 or 3 months. I think it'll be, radio worthy at that point, and it'll be something we can start pushing. Probably start promoting it up until then. But the record, I think it'll be done hopefully by the end of the year.
Well, what we're going to do is, y'all are going to, the
I don't
way I
know.
understand it, we're going to try to have y'all in early next year in the first quarter.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So with Bill.
Mhm.
And that'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be a blast.
So, we got Guthrie coming in early. We got George, I think George Ensley's leading the year off for us next year. One of the great songwriters ever, anywhere.
Yeah.
And so it just gets better and better in here. But Ken Gaines and I talked 2 days ago about you. And he doesn't know you. But he told me, he said, you need to have her and people like her in here all the time.
Well, I know a bunch of them.
Well, then if they're good songwriters and entertainers, send them to us.
Oh, well.
Because that's how everybody's got here.
Well, that makes sense.
That's how everybody's got here.
Yeah.
We've had people nobody's ever heard of in here, and we've had multiple Grammy winners in here, and they all get treated the same.
There you go. That's
In
great.
fact, I can tell you a little secret. Ken Gaines was talking about his granddaughter performing with him now. But I just booked a show for the 1st of August with Bugs Henderson's granddaughter.
Cool.
She'll be in
Miley
here
Henderson.
doing a radio show that day.
That's cool.
So, and how old is Miley now?
16.
16. So.
Wow.
She won't be the youngest we've had in here.
Yeah. Well,
But
shoot.
she's been performing, she started performing when she was 12.
Yeah.
So she's been writing and all that since then.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to bring the whole family here, basically, because we talked to Sarah and the
When
other
is
day.
that?
It'll be the 1st of August.
Okay, cool.
It's the next scheduled radio show we have, although I think there will be another one between here and there.
Okay.
I've got a couple that are in the works that we can play on the radio shows closer to Vest than we can the live shows. So.
Well, Jonna, you have been fabulous.
Yeah, it's been
and
fun.
I can't wait for you to come back. And
Thank
I'd
you.
love to hear you with Bill as well. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
And
we'll
Dana.
definitely do
And
that.
Dana, yes.
And Dana, we're going to make a plan to have you in here soon. Okay. Sure. Okay.
All right,
All right.
guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank y'all so much.
Yeah.
This was great.
And I also want to thank Carol and Tom, because I know y'all come to support us a lot.
Yes,
And other people in the
definitely.
audience. Margaret, thank you for being here too, because it's always good to have people out here if you're up there. It's just not the same if you're playing to that empty wall that you're talking about. You may
Right.
do your show the same, but you don't respond.
Bang my head against it.
Yeah.
all.
But anyway, Helen, thank you for being the best, and you're in the music room.